Today we're here with Dwight Bonk. I'd like to ask you, Dwight, what is your take on bullying?
Well, David, I'm glad to be here. Thank you. Bullying is obviously something that has been going on forever. It may not have been referred to bullying. And based on the Columbine incident back in 1999, there's been a very, very large emphasis on bullying. Obviously, the information that came back from Klebold and Harris, the two students that were involved in that massacre, it comes back that they were bullied, that they were ostracized, and they developed hatred toward other individuals within their school because they felt that they were bullied, they were victims, they were not recognized, and they took action, and unfortunately people died, and it was one of the worst events that we've seen in schools here in the United States. But what makes it so prevalent now is the use of the electronic media. It used to be you were in an environment with someone who was teasing you, harassing you, bullying you, and you'd be able to walk away from it eventually. The advice would be just ignore them. It will eventually go away. Now, with texting, with MySpace, and all of the other technological advancements that have been made, people can be bullied 24/7, 365, regardless of where they are. Bullying is a big issue because, as the literature indicates, if a student does not feel comfortable, the student is not going to be able to learn to their maximum level. And as schools, we need to do the best that we can to ensure that those students have an environment where they're able to learn, where they're able to concentrate, and they're able to do their best. Obviously, if a student is being bullied, they're unable to achieve it. What I'm doing is I am researching necessary critical components of an anti-bullying policy that literature, experts in the literature indicate are necessary. In addition to that, I'm also going to be speaking with school principals and school superintendents to find information that they believe is necessary and critical from a school perspective. So I'm looking at it from the literature perspective. Individuals in the field like a Rigby, like an Olvius, names may not mean anything to you, but they are gurus in the field of bullying. As far as from a school and a district perspective, school districts within New York State by law are required as of July 1 of this year to have a comprehensive anti-bullying policy in place through the Dignity for All Students Act, which is known to many affectionately as DASL. And what I'm going to be looking at is I'm going to be looking at the critical components of that. In order to develop that policy, in order to implement that policy, in order to enforce that policy, and in order to evaluate that policy.
Well, Principal Bonk, it sounds like you're doing a wonderful job to ensure the safety of our children. And I just want to, thank you for taking the time out. You have a busy schedule.
My pleasure.
To sit with us and just talk about this very serious issue.
It is a serious issue. It's a serious issue for the health, the psyche of our students. And it's a very, very serious issue for schools because we're trying to obviously develop the complete person. And we want to teach them, and we want to enhance their life, and we want to enhance their experience. If we're allowing this bullying to go on, number one, their self-esteem is going right down the tubes. And their academic achievement is not as good as it can be either. So it is our responsibility.
Once again, thank you, Principal Bonk.
Thank you, David. My pleasure.